We are ready for the kick-off between Airdrieonians and Harnham and Lothian in this famous old cup competition. 3 of the 4 stands here in Airdrie are packed and we are getting ready to go. Referee is Steve McLean, just waiting for confirmation from television that the match can start. Radio is always ready. George Grant stands over the ball. Hearts in maroon jerseys, maroon shorts, white socks. Coming from right to left is their host in the white jerseys with a traditional red V on the back and on the front. Red shorts, red socks, and we are underway. Lemekisa on that far side. Todorov will pick up, and it is going to be a throw into Hearts. Airdrieonians left to right goalkeeper Josh Ray, all in yellow. Hearts have recalled Craig Gordon this afternoon, and Hearts have given the ball away. Todorov has picked up, being chased back, trying to flick it out wide. Nieuwenhof will gather. Good chasing down by Adam Frizzell. And on that far side it'll be gathered. Mason Hancock with a header forwards. Airdrie trying to come down the side, looking to try and get the ball in. It's deflected, it's a corner. It's an early corner as well, Ian Murray. Really good start from the home team.
Yeah, really good. They're really strong down that left-hand side. Airdrie, Hancock puts in really good delivery. So if they're going to give him room, he's going to deliver the ball and only block that one. And another thing Airdrie have really improved on since the start of the season is their set plays forward. They're scoring a lot of goals. Todorov's a real danger.
Todorov up there, got the winner in the last round. It's the touch. And then the cross comes in, Craig Gordon watches it, goes over the head of Kingsley, breaks outside the box on this right-hand side. The ball was low in, it's been deflected, and it runs out of play. Just going to lean across to check. It is another corner kick, which again, the Airdrieonians will take. And trotting back inside the area is Lewis McGregor, who's trying to cause problems. Charlie Telfer stands as a potential option for the short corner. He's currently standing off the field of play. Hearts have 2 standing on the edge of the area on that right-hand side. Corner kick swung in again. Craig Gordon comes and gathers, takes it confidently. Craig Gordon, and then overheads the ball out onto Grant. Grant on that far side plays it forward onto Alan Forrest. Forrest on that far side up against Aaron Lyle. Has to try and work his way back to the halfway line. Lemekisa on the inside onto Craig Halkett. Halkett will gather, play the cross onto Kingsley. Kingsley onto Cochrane, being closed down by Brazil. Hearts have it inside their own half. The ball passed beyond Lewis McGregor. Out wide it goes. Lemekisa slides it down the side. That should be shepherded through. I thought it could have gone all the way through to the goalkeeper. Although that time I think Callum Fordyce decided to pick it up and knock it out of play. Stuart Kettlewell also alongside me. Real buzz about this place.
There isn't a half, Paul. Really good crowd, real buzz about the place, as you say, and obviously for the home side it's been a really positive start. 2 corner kicks off the back of what was probably loose possession, it has to be said, from Hearts from a throw-in, but it's everything that Airdrie want in this opening few minutes. Hearts probably just have to settle themselves into the game and start shifting the ball, but they've gifted it away yet again.
Yeah, just given away. Hancock picks up, plays it out wide onto Lyle on that far side, sends it round the corner. Hearts will gather through Halkett, the only survivor from the starting 11 from the side that played 4 years ago at Tynecastle. He was a goal scorer. It opens up onto this left-hand side. Forrest moving up towards the edge of the area, trying to open up for Alan Forrest. He's still going. He's going right across the edge of the box. Lemekisa sends it down the side. Vargas is out wide, outside the box, pulls it back again. Lemekisa flicks it up, but it's an easy one for Josh Ray to take. But Alan Forrest already, you can see Stuart's in the mood.
Yeah, I think the important thing that I'm seeing straight away, Ian and I spoke about it, Airdrie are going to play in a 4-4-2 diamond, so for me the key players for Hearts is the fullback, so it's actually Alex Cochrane that picks it up initially and drives into an acre of space to shift it onto Alan Forrest. So I just think in terms of how Airdrie press, Paul, I think they're probably going to have to at times split their 2 strikers to ensure that those fullbacks don't come out and create overloads down the side.
Ball is back with Josh Wright. It's clipped out wide and it's taken down by Craig Watson. Watson will gather. He's going to lose out to George Grant, and George Grant is upended. So Ian Murray, it's a real buzz, as I mentioned to Stuart, but both teams have certainly come out the gate quick.
Yeah, they have. A really good start from Airdrie, opening 2 or 3 minutes. Hearts have now taken the ascendancy a little bit. Airdrie, as we said before the game, they won't change the way they're playing just because they're playing against Hearts, and they need to be a wee bit better though there. That's probably where the extra quality comes in. They're getting pressed a wee bit quick and lose the ball.
So But Hearts with the opportunity to float the free kick in. Cochrane stands one side, Grant the other. It's Cochrane. He swings it in. Shanklin got up to get the header away, and he headed it wide. He's claiming it took a deflection. Didn't look like it from this angle. For me,
just look at the player's reaction, Paul. As always, I thought it was. Shanklin gets into a great position, and just as he gets across the front of the defender, I actually think he just cannons it off the Airdrie player's head, and it should have been a corner kick. But Airdrie Hearts back in possession, and looking pretty comfortable at that.
Yeah, it certainly wasn't a timid appeal from Roland Shanklin.
I'm forever saying this. Ian will share my frustration. The player's reaction will always tell you. Airdrie were accepting that it was a corner kick. The Hearts players were adamant that that's exactly what it was.
Picked up by Dean McMaster. Plays it back to Callum Fordyce. On to the player manager, Rhys McCabe. Launched forward towards Gleig Todorok, former Hearts youngster. He's played for his 7th Scottish club now. 0-0 so far. 5 minutes have passed, and now long on the angle towards Forrest, headed away by Watson. Shanklin will pick up, back with Cochrane. Cochrane now lays the ball forward onto Beningame, closed down very quickly by Frizzell. Now the ball will go out wide, and Makisa drops it off to Vargas, the Costa Rican international. Looks for the return ball down the side, but it's blocked by Mason Hancock on that far side, and it's gone out of play. It's going to be a throw into Hearts on the far side as we watch. Really good crowd inside the stadium, around the 3 sides, and Hearts occupying 2 of the 3 stands as the ball gets played back on to Stephen Kingsley. Kingsley lays the ball back, now it's played across onto Cochrane. Cochrane back onto the halfway line. Kingsley sends it forward. Beningame works the little 1-2, taking out Telford at the same time. Shanklin goes in. Shanklin bowled over, and the free kick is awarded. Callum Fordyce is a formidable character coming out from the back. Here's the chance for Hearts to swing the ball into the area, long on the angle. Forrest beaten to it by Watson. Watson clears up to the edge of the area, picked up again by Grant. Grant out wide onto Alan Forrest. Forrest trying to step away from Watson, lays the ball back to Grant. Grant to Newenhoff, runs through. There was a little trip at the edge of the box, but the ball wasn't there, so the referee allowed play to continue. I think Watson caught his man. Now the ball gets played long. Craig Gordon racing from his goal, plays the sweeper role perfectly, and Makisa then knocks it on, but it's straight onto Mason Hancock down that far side. He's tearing down that left-hand side. Against Levicasa, he's going to try and get the ball in. It's deflected. It's another corner. It's a good cup tie. 0-0.
Yeah, really good again. As I said earlier, that left-hand side for Airdrie is really, really important for them, really pivotal. They went forward a wee bit quicker than they normally do there. Craig Gordon done really well to read it, because I think if he had stayed on his goal line, then Todorov was potentially in.
These are the big calls for the goalkeeper. Corner kick will come from the far side, the left-hand side. Just strolling forward to join the attack. Fordyce, and the corner from the left-hand side. Hearts, 7 players in that 6-yard box. It comes curling in. Craig Gordon comes out and takes it. His 24th Scottish Cup tie for Hearts, and he's plucked that neatly out there.
Yeah, a little bit of frustration, I would imagine, from Airdrie. That's 3 corners they've had now, Paul, and the first one was overhit, and the 2 after that, there's too much air in it. Craig Gordon's always going to come and claim them, and Ian's already said he knows a lot about Airdrie, seen them play plenty of times this season. They've improved, but I think they have to improve the deliveries, especially in this type of game.
Picked up by Shanklin for Hearts. Shanklin opens it up onto that far side, and Mikasa is there. He gathers, picks up, plays the ball on the inside, closed down very, very quickly indeed, but there's no way through for Lewis McGregor, and Hearts retain possession. Hearts have it. Now back by the centre circle, Beningame rather took his eye off that, played the ball back onto Halkett. Halkett forward onto George Grant. Grant enjoying a run in the side. Certainly in terms of being off the bench and starting appearances, just one of these players you feel really needs game time. And as the ball gets touched and knocked out of play on that far side, it remains 0-0.
Yeah, I'm going to jump on the same point I made just a few minutes ago, Paul. The fullbacks for Hearts are going to be the key to this. You actually just look at Forrest and Vargas are pinning in both Airdrie fullbacks, and that just leaves Cochrane and Limbakisa just with acres of space to just go and circulate the ball and travel into the Airdrie half. So I think there possibly has to be a little bit of an alteration in that, because I think that's something that could really cause them a problem or two as we go on in this game.
Now the ball gets played inside, and here's the opportunity for Hearts to bring the ball forward. George Grant There's a rather belligerent Hearts fan standing in our way at the moment, and he's about to get ejected out of there if he doesn't move. Not by me, hasten to add, because he's much bigger. Here's George Grant coming forward down this left-hand side. Plays the ball out wide. Chance for Kingsley to get the ball in the middle. It's a great ball, good header away. Fordyce at the edge of the area, then helped on. Cochrane will go across and win it ahead of Frizzell. And Leverkusen on that far side. Hancock comes sliding in, wins the ball well. Frizzell's got the opportunity to break. He's going to try and play it to Todorov. It's got him behind Halkett. Todorov lost the flight of the ball, and Cochrane was there, and Craig Gordon had to play it away. There's the danger right there, Ian.
It is, yeah. As I said, they're getting that ball forward just a little bit quicker. McGregor there just trying to get in the end of it. He's actually really quick. He normally does get in behind it, just a wee bit off flight. But certainly, it's a big warning for Hearts that if they lose the ball, they're sloppy with the ball on this pitch. Airdrie know it very well. They'll get the ball forward.
Over 10 minutes played. Airdrie Orions and Hearts head to head in the Scottish Cup for the right to face Greenock Morton at the tail of the bank early next month. It's been to Doug Emery before the draw. He just wanted a home draw. He's got that. Caleb Nieuwenhof driving his way forward, opens it up onto Forrest. Forrest to Grant, out wide. Here's the chance for Cochrane. Steps in, plays it back in the middle. Chance, goal, Hearts! It can only be Lawrence Shankland. It's his second goal in the Scottish Cup. Terrific move from Hearts on the left-hand side. They dug themselves out of trouble, got themselves up the other end. Lawrence Shankland the scorer. Airdrie Orions 0. Hearts 1.
Yeah, it's a really slick goal from Hearts. They work it from the right-hand side. It comes through the middle of the pitch. I hate to say I told you so, Paul. I just said it, Ian, with regards to fullbacks. Airdrie's back line is so narrow, and it just leaves Cochrane an absolute acre down this left-hand side. But I've got to say his composure and his pick out for Lawrence Shankland is absolutely first class, and I think that Airdrie have to adjust this. I know the manager and the assistant stand in that back line, but I think that Hearts will continue to get into those situations through both fullbacks, Ian.
Yeah, exactly. It was exactly what you'd highlighted previously. When you play in the diamond, the inside players in the midfield, it's a really hard job. You've got to be all over the place, see things really early. When you're playing against this level of opposition, I understand you're trying to pat the middle of the pitch, don't want to cut through you, but they're equally as good in wide areas. I mean, you get that service to Lawrence Shankland and 8-9 yards out, there's only ever one outcome.
Long ball as Hearts lead by 1-0. Chasing it down. Here's McGregor. Again, I've got a tilt to the side, and I can tell you it is another corner for the home side, and the opportunity to swing the ball across as more fans just stand slightly in front of us. I may have to stand on a seat in a minute. It should be a first thing for a commentary, but he needs must. Corner kick will come from the right hand side. Hearts, everybody back in and around the area. It's taken short, played out wide. Here's Aaron Lyle. Lyle sends her on the angle. It was an awkward one, and Craig Gordon wasn't sure where that was dropping. I think it was a mishit, and Craig Gordon pedalled back, and it just went wide.
Yeah, I think we're right behind that one there, Paul. They shifted to try and change the angle from the corner, and I think Aaron Lyle's aiming for the back post area, and it comes off the outside his right foot.
It's been given away. Here's a chance, deflected and over. Adam Frizzell got the opportunity. It was played to him, took a touch. I think it was Beningame who managed to deflect it behind. Hearts living dangerously.
Yeah, another opportunity now for Airdrie to put the ball in. That one there from Lyle actually thought for a brief millisecond it was going in the back of the net. If you keep giving the ball away to guys like Adam Frizzell there in the middle of the park, he has got a very good left foot in him. I think both teams, to be honest, so far have been a wee bit sloppy, but Hearts are ahead, they'll be delighted.
Hearts leading by 1-0. Lawrence Shankland having netted his 50th goal against St Johnstone, nets number 51 in his second Scottish Cup goal in Hearts colours. Airdrie play the ball in the middle. Halkett got the ball away, strong header well outside the box, and it breaks back onto Dean McMaster. McMaster drops the ball on the inside for Aaron Lyle. There's the little ball across, turn her up, great save from Craig Gordon. Well, it had to be made. There was a little flick on at the near post, and then the opportunity, I think it was running through. I think it was Aaron Lyle that might have got the final touch on that, or Charlie Telfer. Terrific. Todorov was waiting for it. What a chance that was.
I'm not surprised with the save from Craig Gordon. I would need to see it again, but it looks excellent going down to his right hand side. Hearts don't get organised coming from the set play. As they start to clear their penalty box, there's a gaping hole in that right back position. Airdrie get down the left hand side, which Ian's already mentioned is a strength of theirs, but I tell you what, it's a top draw save. He gets down really well to his right hand side, Craig Gordon.
Yeah, wonderful save. Really good ball in, but the sort of warning signs of the worry for Hearts is they're giving Airdrie a huge amount of encouragement. the longer this game goes, where it's quite level, Airdrie will believe in themselves even more so.
There's still a debate going on in front of us, and a couple of fans who are in an area that they've been asked not to be in, so we can actually see what's going on. I know some people think I make this up, but I do tend to try and see the pitch. Here's the opportunity for George Grant, and as Stuart Kettlewell's just observed, I am now standing on a chair.
You are now standing on a chair, Paul, yeah, I can confirm that.
Here's the opportunity for Hearts, trying to come forward down that far side. It's knocked out of play. Let me run you through the Airdrieonians team. George Ray in goal, the back four of Watson, McCabe, Fordyce and Hancock. It's Telfer, Watson, Frizzell and Lyle in that diamond shape, and McGregor trying to support Todorov, trying to come forward. Now here's the opportunity for the throw-in, and here's the chance for Hearts to play the ball across onto Kingsley. Kingsley plays it out wide onto Cochrane. Cochrane gets the chance to play it in, it's deflected. That came off Craig Watson, it goes behind. Hearts have a corner kick, and Stuart, Airdrie need a little bit of stability in this one. They really need just to settle things down.
They do, Paul, they're carrying a threat. That's the one thing we've got to say. You know, managed to draw Craig Gordon into a really good save, several corner kicks and a little bit of pressure from them, but what they don't want is to go a second goal behind, quite clearly, because it becomes a mountain to climb. But they are competitive in the game, just need to be that wee bit more secure behind the ball.
Cochrane long with the corner, and when I say long, it's going to run out on the other side. Lord Shanklin tried to chase after it together, couldn't do so. Hearts of Craig Gordon go, Dexter Lemmy-Caster, Craig Halkett, Stephen Kingsley and Alex Cochrane. I'll break off as Airdrie move the ball quickly down the side. Here's the chance. Lyle looks to try and get himself into the box. Opportunity plays in, and it's going to be another corner kick. Well, they're not short of corner kicks, Ian Murray. They just need to make something happen from them.
Yeah, they just need to give better quality from the dead ball. But as I said, they're getting forward really quick. They are causing Hearts problems, that's for sure. They've got plenty of pace in their front areas on that left-hand side, so it's still very much game on.
McGregor's a threat, Ian, isn't he? With his
yes,
pace
quick,
down the
really,
side. I've seen him last week against you guys,
really
and the problem they had there was nobody could catch up with him to support him.
Yeah, gave us a hard time second half.
Corner kick from that left-hand side. Swung in, back header, there's the chance off the crossbar. Second header is away. It was Mason Hancock who got that header, and now there's the second shot, and it's just gone wide. Well, Todorov drops to his knees. He was just beyond the penalty spot, got the shot away. A double chance for Airdrie.
Absolutely, yeah. The delivery is much better. They're playing off second balls. You know, arguably you could say without the goal, Hearts have scored. I know that's the main thing in the game. Airdrie have been the better side so far in this game.
That's a big chance, isn't it? Dropping to the back post. Hancock, he's decent in the air.
Yeah.
He's just got to guide it underneath the crossbar, but it comes off flush. But that's promising for Airdrie, Paul. That they'll have a real degree of belief with a couple of opportunities they've just been able to create.
Well, they've conceded in the Scottish Cup for the first time this season. They won 1-0 at Stranraer. Callum Gallagher with a goal. And they won 1-0 at home against St Johnstone. The shot of the last round, Nikolai Todorov, the goal scorer there. He had the chance. So too did Mason Hancock, just one goal this season. And as the ball gets played through on the angle, Vargas with a chance! The flag has stayed down. It was a simple long ball through. In behind was Kenneth Vargas. It rattled off the goalkeeper, but not enough, and the ball trickled over the line. Kenneth Vargas scores in back-to-back Scottish Cup matches for Hearts. Airdrieonians 0, Hearts 2.
It's a terrific goal from Hearts' point of view yet again. Airdrie kind of caught sleeping, not defending that space in behind them. I think it was actually Craig Halkett's diagonal, was it? And Vargas just comes from the wide position on the blind side of Mason Hancock. You know what, he gets a little bit of luck, but I think he's made it with the timing he's running, the speed he's running behind the fullback, and Airdrie just caught square. And I've just actually had a look there as well, Paul. It's just at a point where I think they've changed their shape just to try and spread their midfield out, but the fullback just doesn't match the run. But a bit against the run of play, I have to say, at this point, just with the second goal, but Hearts won't be complaining too much about that, Ian.
No, that was a wonderful goal. It's a wonderful pass cross field, really, really good. I suspect he is onside. I don't think the linesman gets that wrong, if I'm being truthfully honest, but we'll need to see it back. Vargas showed his speed, getting in behind. It was a little bit of pass for me, though. I think once got in behind, there was no catching him, that's sure. A wee bit of luck coming back off the goalkeeper. That's football. You know, Airdrie will be kicking themselves now, because this game could easily be tied up at 1-1, and suddenly 10 seconds, 20 seconds later, you're 2-0 down.
Yeah, it's a great point. I mean, Mason Hancock was inches away from being the hero, and then he just gets caught out slightly. No VAR. Well, the only VAR we've got here is Vargas, and he's the second goal scorer as Hearts fight for the ball as it's run out of play. And again, Well, I can tell you it's either a corner or a throw, and the way that Hearts have lined up, it is a throw, just slightly blinded by the Hearts fans standing up to the right-hand side, but it will be a throw right beside the corner flag. You're with us here on BBC Radio Scotland, Sports Sound on a Sunday afternoon, Scottish Cup action. Lyle watches as Telfer tries to touch and turn, didn't quite work for him on that occasion, Charlie Telfer, and the ball's played away. Fordyce gets the header, and dropping back is Aaron Lyle, plays it out wide onto Hancock. Hancock sends it down, looking for the run of McGregor. The ball is just gone out of play. It's going to be a throw into Hearts. Stuart, if you're the Airdrie boss at the moment, how do you settle your side down in terms of you're 2 down but you're playing well?
Yeah, I genuinely just think it's that the bit that we thought might be a factor, Paul, out of possession, just when the ball turns over, they look so comfortable at times in the game, they look as if they can be a real handful for Hearts, but it's these moments here that we're just about to see again. Corcoran, the turn over the ball, Corcoran breaking, Neuenhoff getting forward, it's this moment here that they're really struggling with.
The Aussie up at the edge of the area, Vargas wants it, Neuenhoff continues, he's going to try the shot! From the edge of the box, and he drills it past Josh Ray, and within 20 minutes this tie is as good as over. Barring a miracle, Hearts have done enough already. Shanklin, Vargas and Neuenhoff the goal scorers. Airdrie Unis, believe it or not, have played well. The scoreline, Airdrie Unis 0, Hearts 3.
Yeah, very, very harsh in Airdrie, but now they need to remain really, really calm. You know, this could turn into anything if they get out, they get frustrated with each other. They've actually done all right, but I think we're seeing the difference in quality that Hearts are bringing against them. Like Stuart had said, it was again the wide areas. Forrest makes a run into the corner, stretching the full back all the way back. Hearts switch the play, the other full back's going. It's really, really hard to handle. You have to maybe look at the goalie again. We're not on the vantage point of television pictures, but it's nearly for post, maybe he could have got.
My gut feeling was it was a really nice strike and it's working away from him. That was my gut feeling, but it's just too passive. You asked me what the problem is and how you change this. Once Hearts get into that final third there, Paul, it's just so passive. Neuenhoff's more naturally a kind of number 6 midfielder, but he steps into a position on his kind of weaker side and nobody engages with him, nobody goes to put pressure on him. So that is ultimately the problem that Airdrie have here. I'm stating the obvious when they're 3 goals down, but they've been competitive in this game, but when the ball turns over, it's far too open and they're far too passive.
Little flick on by Craig Watson, comes down the side, Kingsley picks up, the ball will break the way of Todorov, who's caught offside. So Hearts lead by 3-0. I mentioned their back 4, Mikasa, Halkett, Kingsley, Cochrane, Neuenhoff and Beningame sitting, Vargas, Grant, Forrest and Lawrence Shanklin. The goal scorers Shanklin, Vargas, Neuenhoff, and really it has been a terrific start to the afternoon for Harry Midlothian. Now it's played long on the angle. Cochrane heads it forward. I'm trying to think of the last time Hearts were 3-0 up away from home in the Scottish Cup. I think it was against Hibs, Ian.
There's every chance, absolutely every chance.
Ball gets dropped back. I'm kind of counting on Hibs fans not listening at the moment. As the ball gets played out wide. Here's the opportunity. Can Lyle make something happen? Hancock, who hit the bar at just 1-0 for Hearts. That could have just changed this game, but as it is, he's got the ball, he's gone wide, he's trying to get the cross in. It's a decent ball, Craig Halkett with a header away, breaks down, there's a chance. McMaster tries to drive in. It's a good effort from Dean McMaster, brought the ball under control, drilled the shot away, drilled it wide however, and it continues to be a Hearts 3-0 lead.
Yeah, it was a decent effort, I have to say, probably closer than it looked as well, but again, they're still plugging away, they're still trying. As Stuart alluded to earlier, that they need to be more aggressive without the ball and try and get it closer to the Hearts players, particularly in and around the box area. You can't give players of Hearts quality a bit the time that they're receiving at the moment. And I said they need to sort it fairly quickly, and maybe that's a benefit of having your manager and assistant manager on the park in these situations, that they can feel it, they can see it, they can talk to the players very closely, get them together and try and just keep them together.
Hearts have a man down at the moment, it's Craig Halkett. They're just checking on him. The Hearts physio has come onto the field to play. Referee Steve McLean engaging in conversation with Craig Gordon, and the Airdrie players have split into 2 groups, and it's interesting to watch. Rhys McCabe stepping forward, having a word with Adam Frizzell, Guy Todorov in there, Aaron Lyle, and so too Lewis McGregor. He'll now walk over and speak to the other group. This little break actually might be favourable for Airdrie, just to allow them to regroup, rethink.
Yeah, I think it is. I think, it's probably came at not a bad time. They've just not recovered from that opening goal, and you always, when you lose a goal against higher league opposition early on, I always think the most important one is the second goal in these games, because it can really finish you off. At 1-0, you've always got an opportunity in football. When Hearts get that second, it's a mountain to climb. Get the third, you're asking a heck of a lot now for Airdrie. I think what they've got to do now is just realise that, try and be competitive within that, and try and keep the score, at a sort of acceptable level.
So play will restart as Craig Halkett just wanders on that far side. I'll tell you what, if there's any doubt about him whatsoever, Stuart, Hearts should just hook him and get somebody else on. You're 3-0 up in a cup tie.
Yeah, absolutely. I think we all know Craig's injury history, which has been really unfortunate. He's spent a lot of time in the sidelines, and it looks as if they are doing that, just what you've said there, Paul. It looks as if it might be Kyle Rowles, I think, that might be replacing him, and absolutely the correct decision if there's any doubt whatsoever.
Spot on. The man from Kinnear in New South Wales now on 18 international caps for his country, and he will just come in and slot in. Wears 15, and Hearts having to make that change, so they've lost Craig Halkett, the only survivor from these teams when they last met, as Hearts play it long, leading by 3-0 up towards Lawrence Shanklin, who got the goal scoring started. Hooked forward by Neuenhoff, over the top it goes. Oh, Vargas is away from McCabe, he's inside the area, he steps back, and some good challenging across. I think that was Telfer who came back to make the challenge, to intercede there. That could so easily be number 4.
Yeah, really good opportunity. It looked actually like he was in goal and probably going to finish it off and make it 4-0 again, just getting through that Airdrie defence too easily. A wee ricochet maybe helped him along the way, but again, Airdrie really need to tighten up. They need to do something quickly.
Well, the opportunity for Hearts to swing the ball in here. Well, there was a game earlier on today down in England at the West Ham Stadium that saw their fans leaving before half-time as the ball gets bounced into the corner. West Ham getting thrashed by Arsenal, 4-0 half-time, 6-0 at finish, as the ball comes out onto Lawrence Shanklin. Shanklin long on the angle, good headed away up to the edge of the area, and very quickly Airdrie try and move the ball away. Picked up well. Lyle touches the ball back and comes across and plays it out onto that far side, trying to drive their way forward and find a way through. Here's McMaster, McMaster, second season on loan from St Mirren. Looks a good prospect in the middle of the park. Ball played back onto Rhys McKay. McMaster again, plays the ball up to the halfway line. Brazil takes a little touch. He had a chance to score early in this game. He's managing to see his shot block. He's dropping short, coming for the ball. Plays the ball long down the side. Hearts will come across through Kingsley at the edge of the area, plays it out wide. Makesa will gather and launch it forward. Vargas just has a look as he knew that was going to go out of play on that far side. Time ticking away in this first half, but Hearts leading by 3-0. And you just need a little energy boost somewhere for Airdrie, because you just, every time Hearts go forward at the moment, you feel for them.
Yeah, I actually think their energy is absolutely fine, Paul. I think it's just the kind of tactical element of the game, and that, again, I'm not being disrespectful. There's just a moment there where both fullbacks are still high and wide, and you're looking at Vargas, Shanklin and Forrest in the middle area of the pitch, and if the ball turns over such as it has done just now, you can activate these guys really quickly, and it's in positions where the fullbacks aren't providing cover for the Airdrie centre-backs, which is obviously the management team, but I don't think they're going to change. This is how they play, and for that you give them a lot of credit, but I just worry that it can get out of hand unless you rectify that.
It was 5-0 the last time these sides met. That was at Tynecastle. Hearts took a long time to net all 5 of those goals. There's a free kick given away, Vargas going down. And I guess the other problem, Ian, as Stuart mentioned, that with the fullbacks coming up, probably about 6 to 8 weeks ago, you wouldn't have been so worried about Vargas and Forrest, but both are in a real good vein of form. Yeah,
you look through the Hearts team at the moment, and we talked about earlier that the run of form that they're in, 10, I think it's 10 games undefeated, 5 wins in a row now. Beat Celtic at Parkhead, they're beating top teams, Aberdeen, they went Easter Road and won, so they're full of confidence. They're getting a lot of injuries back as well, and looking really strong at an important time in the season. And I always think, I like Forrest, I've always liked him. I know he can be frustrating at times for supporters and managers and people watching, but I like him. He's direct, he's quick, and Stuart will tell you play against pace, it doesn't matter how quick you are, he can cause you problems.
Airdrie trying to build from the back once more. For this, will play the ball back inside, hooked away by Ray. Take a bounce up towards the halfway line. Came off the head of Todorov and breaks down onto Cochrane. Will be gathered in by Stephen Kingsley. Kingsley trying to take on 2 players, decides to turn around, play the ball back to Kairos. Hearts leading by 3-0 here on BBC Radio Scotland. Earlier on today, Kyogo and Maida with the 2 goals for Celtic, getting past St Mirren. The Scottish Cup action comes to a close this weekend. It's always a great weekend of action, and so far Hearts are certainly enjoying themselves. As the boys have described, Airdrie are just trying to play it out from the back. It works this time. Comes on to Watson does well. Looked up, McMaster was calling for it, but it comes back.
It's great bravery from McMaster. You know, he's under so much pressure. I think it was possibly Neuenhoff that comes in the middle of the park with him and puts him under real pressure. But you look at the young lad, he's got his hand signal, he's got the open palm, still wanting to receive the ball, and just peels it off into a wide area.
Long on the angle, on to Craig Watson. Craig Watson by the corner flag, gets the cross in, headed away by Cochrane. And I think the ball has gone out of play. So, as normally happens at grounds that get bigger crowds than they expect, somebody's parked illegally somewhere.
Probably me.
I think it is you, and I think he just gave you a registration there.
We'll give you 5 minutes to move it. Here's the opportunity now for Hearts, just to build from the back. After the 2012 Cup success in the Scottish Cup, Hearts won no Scottish Cup ties for 4 years. I think January 2016 before they beat Aberdeen. They have been a little bit better since then, obviously reaching finals. Just trying to find a way to lift the famous old trophy once more. The old Airdrie had a great cup record against Hearts, including a couple of semi-finals back in the 90s. As the ball gets played forward, Neuenhoff trying to get past Hancock. He's done so. He's kept his feet. He's by the byline. Chips it up. Chance for Forrest. Forrest with a shot, good save by the goalkeeper. Touched away well by Watson. Again, more danger coming as Hearts trying to exploit the flanks. Cochrane takes the touch, wins the ball, brings it back inside onto Kingsley. Kingsley will send it out wide. And Rikisa taking on Aaron Lyle on that far side, trying to go down on the outside, just runs out of artificial turf, and it remains Airdrie 0, Hearts 3.
Yeah, it could be 4, couldn't it? Really good play again down the right hand side. It's actually Neuenhoff that breaks down the right hand side. You know, Hearts will get so much joy in those full-back positions of Airdrie's, and he stands up a lovely cross. And Alan Forrest, as Ian's already mentioned, such a clever player, just peels off the back and takes the strike first time in his left foot. And it's actually not too bad a save from Josh Ray in the Airdrie goal.
Josh Ray has had a tough afternoon so far. Here's the opportunity now for Airdrieonians to motor their way forward, trying to get in there, but eventually blocked off. It was another good run from Lewis McGregor. Got all the way into the Hearts penalty box, but just ran into too many maroon jerseys. Grant with the ambitious pass through, headed away by Callum Fordyce. Up onto Frizzell. Frizzell just calling the ball down onto Lyle. Telfer picks up in the midfield. Lays it back onto Dean McMaster. McMaster back onto Fordyce. Fordyce gathering once more. Over 400 senior games. Callum Fordyce started off with Livingston and a pretty good career. Livingston, Clyde, Dunfermline, King of the South amongst his clubs. Airdrie try and move forward. Out wide it goes. Todorov looking to see what his options are. Well, one of them was being dispossessed by Neuenhoff. That was his least favourite one. And Hearts clear and get the ball away on that far side. But a little bit of pressure coming from the home side.
Yeah, definitely. They're still trying really, really hard. I think they just got to be a bit more tidier in their forward play. Todorov lost the ball there very, very easily, and they're working incredibly hard to get the ball back, because they know when they lose it, Hearts are really clinical at the moment. They're making Airdrie work side to side. They're getting down the sides of them. They're stretching the game. So they need to be better in the top end of the park and at least give your midfielders, your defenders, a little bit of respite.
Try to push their way forward, dropping short. Todorov lays the ball back. Now over the top it comes. Here's the opportunity. McGregor trying to go out wide, lays the ball back. Hancock gets it into the middle. Brazil! Brilliant header! Edge of the 6-yard box. Craig Gordon dive, couldn't keep it out. Airdrieonians get on the score sheet. Fabulous goal. Adam Frizzell scores. Airdrieonians 1, Hearts 3.
Yeah, wonderful goal. We highlighted it earlier again on Hancock's delivery. Really, really good. He's come on leaps and bounds in the last couple of months. All I will say is I don't remember Frisk scoring too many headers in his time, but he's timed his run perfectly into the box. Gave Craig Gordon absolutely no chance.
Ian, the first bit for me is I think Airdrie need to utilise it a little bit more. McGregor stretching the two centre-backs with his pace. We spoke about it earlier on. He just goes down the shoulder. Both centre-backs struggle to keep pace with him, and that's how they get in behind, set it back, and that's where the cross sort of comes from. So I think it's something they need to maybe try between now and half-time, is go and see if they can get down the side of the Hearts centre-backs.
It's a really, really good goal. First for the season, which is perhaps a surprise for Aaron Frizzell. Normally chucks in 2 or 3 in a season. But I'll tell you what, he'll be pleased with that one. It was a beautiful header. Made all the sweeter when you pop it past the goalkeeper of Craig Gordon's quality.
Just shows you don't have to be the biggest. I know Ian's saying that he doesn't score too many of his head, but he is obviously quite a small, diminutive player. But at the time of the run's excellent. The quality of delivery is absolutely fantastic from that left-hand side of Airdrie. Always
upsets me when men who are 5'9" are described as small, as the ball gets played forward. Up to the halfway line. Here's Beningame. Beningame gathers and takes the touch, goes down. He was taken down. The referee decided that Todorov had played the ball rather than the man, so it's going to be a throw-in to the home side. Catching the ball as it comes back to him as Craig Watson throws it in onto Rhys McCabe. Arrived in July of 21, Rhys McCabe. And what a servant he has become as the ball has been given away. Here's Grant. Grant plays it through, it's deflected into the path of McCabe, who got it back, and he can launch it long. Just need to settle down here, Airdrie. Having got one goal back, you never know if you can nick another one. Still in the first half. Cochrane plays the ball on the inside onto Beningame. Under 10 minutes to half time. 4 goals already in this game. Hearts leading by 3-1. Beningame rings the ball back. Here's the opportunity for Rose. Stretching was Cochrane to gather. Sends it out wide onto Alan Forrest. One thing that goal has done is it's piped down the visiting support. Home support are happy. Here's Beningame running from the halfway line. Lays the ball off to Grant. Grant shuffles it out wide onto Alan Forrest. Forrest against Watson. Plays the ball back onto Grant. Grant's going to try and clip it out wide onto that far side. Next to Limakisa. Gathers. Plays the ball back on the inside onto Cochrane. Hearts holding on to the ball in the midfield at the moment, leading by 3-1. Ball pulled back onto Kai Rolls, the substitute on for Craig Halkett. Being tracked back by Todorov, trying to just shrug him off. Plays it on to Shanklin. Shanklin with a touch, the turn on the shot. Too high in the air, but he's a player dripping with confidence.
Yeah, it's blazed over from Lawrence Shanklin. Just a wee feature of Kai Rolls. That's something I've noticed setting the team up to play against Hearts a couple of times this season. He actually steps in really well as a centre-back. He steps through beyond the midfield and just punches it into Lawrence Shanklin. We would expect him to hit the target normally, but he is actually human after all.
Long ball by Airdrie. It's going to be too long. Take a couple of bounces. Goes out of play on the main stand side. We're opposite that main stand here. And this really good facility. And the opportunity to get the ball forward comes for Hearts. Little touch. It's just over 10,000 seater stadium, as was the requirements back in the day, as the ball is out of play and Hearts have a throw. Newhoff will leave it for Ndakisa. Little period of stability here, Ian, for the home side, and well, if you only go down, if you can get into half-time only 2 down, you're still in this.
Absolutely, yeah. The game can change very quickly second half if Airdrie can keep this to 2 goals, a penalty kick, or a referee decision, a red card, whatever that may be. So they have to believe in themselves, they have to stay calm. I think there, Lawrence hitting from 20-25 yards, you know, a wee bit of encouragement for Airdrie perhaps. Maybe he's getting a little bit frustrated.
Actually not seen too much of him. Here's Cochrane. He is on the score sheet though. Cochrane lays it off onto George Grant. Back onto Cochrane. Cochrane round the corner onto Forrest. Forrest digs it, plays it out well. Makisa's getting the freedom of Airdrie on that far side. Hancock closes him down, but not before the cross comes in. Great diving header away. And the ball breaks out onto Beningame. There's Rhys McCabe meeting the header. Here's the chance for Grant. Grant takes a touch, turns the ball, plays it on the inside. There's the 1-2 by Cochrane with Shanklin. There's the crossover, the header. It's dropped down, it's going everywhere, and Airdrie somehow managed to get the ball away. And Frizzell thought it was taken down by Beningame, but Telfer had the ball. Referee happy for play to continue. Here's Lewis McGregor dropping short from the halfway line, played it back onto Craig Watson, who sends it too long, and Craig Gordon will gather. I I'll tell you, it's such a delight to see Craig Gordon back playing. I was at Tannadice the day that he picked up that injury. It was absolutely horrible, and he's done so well.
I think I was working for BBC that day as well, Paul, and I think we all had a real sick feeling in the pit of our stomach. I wasn't there, I didn't see it live, but certainly when the news was filtering through how bad the injury was, then I think he's done remarkably well, hasn't he? He just looks in terrific condition. He's obviously made a big stop again today down to his right hand side, real good save, and it's just nice to see someone of that calibre back between the goals and performing as well as he has done.
280th appearance for Hearts today. Here's Neuenhoff, one of the goal scorers. Will dig it out wide. Hearts inside their opponent's half, coming down the right hand side. It's with Vargas. Vargas inside to Forrest, who joined him on that right flank. Forrest is dancing his way through, got the shot away. Tell you what, that had a bit of zip on it, and the goalkeeper manages to touch it up and over the top. Good effort from Alan Forrest.
Yeah, wonderful effort. Goalie probably just gets away with that. Just to go back, 2 or 3 minutes, what a cross put in there. That was very, very difficult to defend. The pace and the power that he put on that. Any touch, it's in the back of the net. It
comes from the right as well, Ian, where Limbakisa's got the freedom, as Paul said, down that right hand side, and then it filters back over to the left, and it's the left back that's got the freedom of that side as well.
Hearts with the corner, lifted into the middle. Good solid header away. Dice doing well again. Limbakiza picks up, sends it long on the angle again. It's a great ball. Grant brings it down, kills it beautifully outside the box on the right hand side. Forrest dips it in. Vargas was looking for it, but it's headed away by McKay. Breaks to Lawrence Shanklin outside the box. He's going to try the curling one to the back post, and the ball just runs out of play. Great effort again from Shanklin to try and pick out the runner.
Yeah, actually just before the game, Richard was asking me a little bit about preparing to play against Shanklin, and it's just evidence of it there, Paul. You'd expect your number 9 striker to be playing between the goalposts, but he doesn't. He's so intelligent. He just reads the flight of the ball, skipping off the surface, and pulls away from the full-back, not even the centre-back, into a wee position where he can try and sort of caress and curl that ball into the far post. He's so intelligent with the positions he picks up and so hard to pin down.
And I guess, Stuart, you've got to hope that your back four who'll be defending him, they've got good communication skills and are able to pass him on.
That's exactly it. We speak about handovers continuously, and for that you must have brilliant communication. You can't man mark him in this game. He plays everywhere. He plays into midfield areas, back post areas, gets into the front post when the ball goes into wide areas. So you can't just pin him down with one player. You need to be really, really assertive with your communication.
There's a shot from outside the box, picked up there. No real danger, but Lewis McGregor picked it up, let fly, and an easy one in the end for Craig Gordon. That was the voice of Stuart Kettlewell, the Motherwell manager. Also alongside me, Ian Murray, former Airdrie and his manager, now with Wraith Rovers. And your old side settled into the game a little bit more again.
Yeah, they have. It's just moments in games that have undone them. The Hearts are showing moments of quality. I wouldn't say Airdrie have been outplayed or anything like that. They've had opportunities themselves, but we have to be respectful and acknowledge Hearts have got better players. They're a far higher wage salary. They've got a bigger budget. I mean, of course that's going to happen. So Airdrie need to do everything that they can to make this as level as they possibly can. And so far, I think they've done all right. A wee bit ropey at the back against good players, but going forward, they still look like they've retained the belief in themselves.
Well, Hearts have won 7 of the last 15 away ties in the Scottish Cup, but just the sheer mention of Brora Rangers will send shivers through every Hearts supporter. That night they were knocked out much. 2021, one of the real low points for Hearts in the last few years. As they gather, they lead here by 3-1. The ball played back to Craig Gordon, just off to our right hand side. Gordon comes into the D, looks ahead. Todorov not closing him down, so he's just going to stand and wait. Now Todorov makes a move. And Makisa again has a lot of space to bring the ball down on his chest, turn, play the ball back. And Kingsley plays it back again. The man on loan from Wolves. He'll clip the ball long. Forrest has made that chase. He's trying to get in behind Fordyce. Fordyce is going to try and let the ball run out of play. Does well under pressure. And the ball goes behind. It's going to be a goal kick. Half time approaching. Hearts still leading by 3-1.
I know I keep saying it, Ian, but from the shape that Airdrie play, it's the spare player, and Hearts keep finding that spare player, which is either one of the full-backs. I just wonder if it's worth that little twist and that little tweak, maybe just to see if they can put a little bit more of a contained pressure on those full-backs and almost give up the 2 centre-backs, because it's even Craig Gordon's using them now, Paul, as well, just dropping little balls into the right and left back.
Long from Josh Ray, down the middle it comes. Well, Rose took a chance there. It was good closing down. He's lost the ball. Todorov has it 30 yards from goal. A wee rush of blood to the head, or more importantly to the right foot, and he popped the ball well wide from there. I thought, and again it's easy from up here, could have taken a little touch in advance.
Yeah, I think it's just frustration from Todorov, really. You know, he's got to do better. We talked about earlier about being tidier in possession in the high end of the park. And, you know, McGregor's making some terrific runs. He really is. He's playing really, really well. He's looking a real threat, really lively. But he needs his strike partner to help him. You know, he's doing so much work. Eventually, that energy is going to run out.
This is an Airdrie side who are not used to conceding goals. They've lost just one in the last 5 games, but they were hit for 3 in the opening in this one, but they have pulled a goal back. And they're still in this cup tie. All the action unfolding here on BBC Radio Scotland Sports Sound. Shankland over the halfway line, lays it back to Grant. Grant will open it up again, in the case on that far side. It'll be closed down by Todorov, with the ball just flicked back rather easily on to Kingsley. A couple of Scottish Cup goals in his career. Really important stages of the final and semi-final. As the ball gets dropped back onto Kai Rolls. Rolls inside his own half. Here's everybody back inside theirs. Half-time creeping closer, the ball gets played out wide. Grant sends the ball round onto Forrest. Forrest back to Grant. Grant opens it up here. And Kai Rolls sends it down the side. Forrest lays the ball off to Grant, closed down very quickly by Watson, but it's flicked down the side. McCabe has to come across, take the touch, send it out of play. I thought that came off a Hearts boot. It did. And all credit to Craig Watson for trying to steal about 10 yards and get things moving. He got found out though. And the opportunity to come and get the ball thrown in. Just taking their time here. I think the home side would be happy just to hear the half-time whistle and get inside. And the referee would oblige. Ball thrown into Frizzell. First goal of the season for him. Terrific angled header. Airdrie go long over the top. And Mikesa will gather, almost overruns it, plays it back to Kai Rolls under pressure immediately. He flicks the ball over the halfway line. Grant is there, 3 players around him. The energy level is terrific from the championship side as Hearts build again. Played out wide. Vargas picks up. Vargas inside onto Newnoff, to the goal scorers for Hearts. Hearts will play it out wide onto George Grant, who's picked up on the left-hand side. The ball's come through onto Alan Forrest. Forrest be moved away. There's a little grab of the jersey as well. And the throw will go the way of Airdrie. And now the referee's indicating that he's changed his mind. I think he had a shout from the assistant on this near side. That would be Paul McAvenue.
So hard to pin down Alan Forrest. He's drifting all over the pitch. He's playing left, right, central. He's just dragging players all over the place. He's nice to watch when he's in that flow and getting touches of the ball.
Grant gets the ball back from Cochrane and the throw-in. McMaster gets the touch, plays it down the side. The half-time whistle goes. And what a half of football we've had here. And the Scottish Cup in the last 16, playing for a place in the quarter-final. Shankland, Vargas and Newnoff for Hearts. Pulling a goal back was Adam Frizzell for Airdrieonians. Still a lot to play for in this tie. Half-time, Airdrieonians 1, Hannah Lothian 3.
The Scottish Cup.
Live on Sports Sound from BBC Radio Scotland.
Where Scottish football lives.
Guiding you through the stories making the news.
What's the situation, David?
It's been a bit of everything. High waters, high winds, power cuts as well.
What's this all about?
Quite often the exchanges between the Prime Minister and the Leader of the Opposition do get a little bit testy.
The issues that matter to us all.
This is a safety issue for our children.
Homes people can't afford.
The stories that just have to be told.
So it's a type of reptile that flew over the heads of dinosaurs.
This could be a Scottish-only species.
As far as we know, it is.
Wake up to Good Morning Scotland. Listen to Lunchtime Live from noon.
Head home with Drive Time. Weekdays on BBC Radio Scotland and Sounds.
You're listening to Sports Sound with me, Richard Gordon. We've been with you since, much earlier in the afternoon. We brought you the win for Celtic, 2-0 against St Mirren in the Scottish Cup in Paisley. Kyogo in the first half, Dyson Maeda early in the second. Celtic then through to the quarterfinals. The draw was made around 20-5. Celtic were paired at home to Livingston. It is Aberdeen against Kilmarnock, Hibernian against Rangers, and Morton will be at home to either Airdrieonians or Hearts. Those two currently locked horns in the game that we're bringing you. We've just reached half-time. Hearts with a 3-1 advantage, but that doesn't even begin to tell you the story of the first half. Remarkable first half. Lots of entertainment, lots of opportunities. Airdrie losing 3 goals in the space of 10 minutes, having created a pile of chances and eventually taking one through Adam Frizzell. But Hearts are right now very much in command and heading to Capello in the quarter-finals. We'll give the guys Ian Murray and Stuart Kettlewell just a few moments to reflect and to get their breath back. Let's just focus on the one Premiership game this afternoon. We're going to bring you some pretty stormy reaction to a 2-1 win for Dundee against St Johnstone. Matty Smith scored early for St Johnstone. Up until the 75th minute, they were in front, and then a much delayed VAR check awarded a penalty to Dundee. Luke McCowan scored that. Jordan McGee netted what turned out to be the winner in the final minute of, well, regulation time. There was plenty stoppage time. There was a head knock which saw Michael Mellon require significant and extended treatment before eventually being taken off the pitch on a stretcher. So there was an awful lot going on. We can get the reaction now from the two managers, and from what I gather, this is worth listening to. First of all, we'll hear from the man whose side took all 3 points. Tony Docherty spoke after the game with Brian McLaughlin.
Tony, before we start about the game, how is Michael Mellon?
Michael's fine, and I'd rather come on to that later, but what I would like to do at this opportunity is take the chance to speak about how fantastic I thought my team were today. I thought the level of performance, the bravery, when it's a derby game like that, I said to them, you need to make sure there's a real intensity about your play. And I thought we got that in spades today, and I think their bravery was rewarded. The amount of penalty box entries we had, the amount of shots, the stats of that game will just show that everything we looked to do in the game we did, and with bravery, and that's how we get the result.
In terms of the penalty that got you back into the game, did you have any idea that it could have been a penalty?
Yeah, I believe my players. I'd rather, focus on what my players were saying. And Baka did say there was a hand in the face. I've seen it back. There was a hand in the face when it came into the box. So yeah, players raised his hand, and it's a justified. It's a penalty kick. And do you know what? I think we're due a break with the amount of penalties we've had against us recently.
You made changes. You brought in Michael Mellon. He certainly had an impact, but how is he? Because he went down and it looked a very, very serious head knock.
He's not great, I'll be honest with you, Brian, and I'd like the referee to answer the question on that, because I think it's horrific. The blow that he took to the head. I have to say, the St Johnstone player hasn't covered himself in glory whatsoever. Same player that gave away the penalty kick. But for the referee to allow that to continue, I have to give great credit to my club doctor, Derek McCormack, who, with all the years' experience he's got, he recognised what was wrong there and he ran on the pitch, because the referee allowed play to go on. And I think that was life endangering, that challenge. I really do. And for nothing to be done about it, and I've now got a kid there, brilliant boy, Michael, who's in an ambulance his way up to the hospital. I think the referee has to answer questions there. It happens 12 yards in front of me, and I see it coming, and I see the blow he's taking to the head. Michael's okay. I went and just spoke with him there. Michael's welfare is absolutely paramount, and I would like the officials to answer the questions you're asking me. What I would like to focus on at the moment is how good my football team were today and how brave every individual player within that team were. And I'm proud of their performance, and I'm really pleased that they get rewarded for everything they did in that performance.
Tony Docherty, it was twofold, that, wasn't it? He wanted to make absolute sure that his players, his team, got the credit, and it could be a very important win for them. But as he pointed out, Michael Mellon's welfare is paramount. It's great news to hear that he seems to be recovering, but it was clearly a very serious situation. Tony talking about it there as being life endangering, and praising his doctor, who ran onto the pitch to immediately to try to administer some kind of treatment. He felt the referee let the game continue way longer than he should have done. It's not often you get that kind of interview, I guess, from the winning manager, but clearly he's feeling it. He's feeling it, understandably, it would seem, in the wake of that. Let's hear from the other manager then. It was Craig Levein, of course, who St Johnstone's side had the lead for such a long time, but ended up losing all 3 points.
Craig, you furious at that?
I'm furious at a couple of things. At the penalty decision, and also at my team's response to to losing that goal. I just didn't like what I saw after that equaliser. I thought we should have stood taller, we should have fought harder. And that's the thing that really disappoints me. There's nothing we can do about the VAR decision now. But we can do something about making sure that our players are doing more on the field to try and get back into a game, or when they get pegged back to try and win the game, because we didn't do enough today.
Was it a penalty in your eyes?
No, I thought that David actually jumped. He doesn't realise it's Gordy that's behind him. I think it's one of their players, and he's got his arm up. He's pushed Gordy's arm up, and it's like it's on the shoulder of the Dundee player, and it happens all the time. It happens all the time. But that's no excuse for my team's response. I thought that they should have done a hell of a lot more than they actually did, and I think that the supporters have every right to be disappointed. We didn't fight hard enough once the equaliser went in, and that's something I can't accuse them of very often. But I saw it today, and we just make sure that doesn't happen again, and just say to the supporters that isn't acceptable.
And from a VAR point of view, is it worth the money? Is it doing the job?
Well, it's not VAR, is it? It's not VAR, it's people. That's the problem. So, you know, there's things like that go on in a penalty box every single corner in a match. Why pick that one? Why pick that one? I don't know. And that's not a clear and obvious error in my eyes. I think that's just normal behaviour at set pieces. And the other thing is, I don't understand this idea that there's a collision in the centre of the field, and it's obviously two guys have banged heads, you know, and he plays on. He plays on. What's all that about? Honestly, it baffles me sometimes. It's not, and I come back to the thing, it's not VAR. The concept is really good, but in reality, it's people who are making decisions that are re-refereeing things that have happened earlier on. So, most of our disappointment is the fact that we didn't do anywhere near as well as I thought we should. And there were moments in the game where we had quite a bit of good play, but not enough. And as I say, the psychological blow of losing that penalty affected us, and we need to be better than that.
Right, an awful lot to digest there, and clearly neither Ian Murray nor Stuart Kettlewell have seen the incidents that the managers were referring to there. But both Tony Docherty and Craig Levein unanimous that the referee should have stepped in. He should have ensured that Michael Mellon was very quickly receiving treatment. They were both, clearly you heard it there, they were both flabbergasted, I guess, that the referee played on. Craig's frustration is over the penalty. He thinks it wasn't a penalty, not clear and obvious, and his anger, if you like, is pointed at those who operate VAR rather than VAR itself. Tony was fine with the penalty. He thought it was a penalty. He was praising his players, as I mentioned earlier, but a big issue over the whole situation. He did call it life-endangering, the collision between Liam Gordon and Michael Mellon. Liam, I think he did get some treatment, but he was up fairly quickly. Michael Mellon away to hospital, but we did hear from Tony there that hopefully he is on the mend and that he's not going to be any worse for the incident. But Stuart, as a manager, you'll be all too familiar with the frustrations that, in actual fact, both managers were feeling there in the wake of that game.
Richard, I'm really, really passionate about this. I'm going to say my piece on air just now that I've taken this case to the officials. I've provided video evidence. I've asked for explanations on these aerial challenges, because in this country, quite simply, as I say, I'm so passionate about it in the sense that we are missing something here. Is it going to take, and I've not seen the incident today, you allude to it there, is it going to take a serious injury before we actually start to look at these aerial challenges? challenges, because I don't think the officials know what they're looking at. For one, we had an incident earlier in the season. Paul McGinn fractured his cheek. Lewis Mayo honestly goes to try and win the ball. Paul had to go through surgery and a really, really bad injury. And the referees told us we gave you an advantage. No, they didn't. The ball got kicked out of play and cleared out the box. I watched an incident with Celtic against Hibs the other night where I hope Alistair Johnson's okay. I heard people saying that they didn't think it was a penalty. If you challenge for that ball and you go into an aerial challenge and you miss the ball and you clash heads and the other person heads the ball, it must be a foul. It must be a foul. There's no other outcome. I watch aerial challenges. I've provided 6, 7, 8 video examples of making a back, I think it is, Richard, they call it in rugby, when you go to contest the ball, somebody takes your body weight from underneath you. We had one against Greenock Morton the other night. What was the result? Play on. Jack Vale lands fully on his head, on his neck, and what's the call? Play on. This really has to be taken serious now. I really hope that Michael Mellon's okay and that there's no lasting damage, but I hate to be pretty crude with what I'm going to say here. What would you rather? Would you rather an ankle injury with some of these ground challenges, or would you rather a brain injury? And that's what everybody needs to answer this question now, and we need to get to a place where we just stop talking about it and we actually show some sort of action, because somebody is going to get seriously hurt unless we start doing something about it.
Ian, it'll be a situation that you'll be very well aware of, something you'll have had to deal with in the past as well. Do you share, well, the concerns we heard from both managers in terms of that incident, but Stuart's concerns more generally?
Yeah, absolutely. I think I was at the game at Easter Road the other night against Celtic, and a lot of people around me couldn't understand why it was a penalty. For me, it was the biggest penalty you'll see all season.
Absolutely.
2 or 3 seconds late, it's a definite penalty kick. The referee got it right. I think we're sometimes losing sight of players' welfare at times for the good of the game. We don't talk about it too much, and Stuart's passionate about that. I'm passionate about the amount of added time we're seeing, and I get it, but these players are not conditioned to play 105 minutes. We don't train that way. Nobody's ever wanted to bring up the subject. When you add in all this, the new rules, they're making it very, very difficult for players and managers to enjoy the game now. And I'll be honest, I'll hold my hands up and say I'm delighted that we do not have VAR in the Championship, because we just got on with it. Of course, there's millions of mistakes, but it's a proper game of football. When a player scores the goal, he can go and celebrate, the fans can celebrate, the referee will make mistakes, we acknowledge that, we'll make mistakes, but look, that's it done. The VAR for me is just starting to really spoil the game a wee bit.
Yeah, I've got to agree entirely. I mean, obviously I'm spending my Saturdays with Cove Rangers in League One these days, and everyone says that. Everyone just says, I'm so pleased that we don't. Yeah, we have to live with mistakes, but they're human mistakes, and they happen. The bottom line is that you don't then have the interventions. I think it was worth just spending the time having heard from Tony and Craig there, just to get the guys' thoughts. And I don't think we've heard the last of that. That, I'm sure, will be a topic that we'll rumble on into next week and beyond. We didn't really get much chance to reflect on the opening 45 minutes, but it was a great game, got to say. Hearts with the early lead. Who else but Shankland? Airdrie then with a litany of chances which they failed to take. And then Hearts with 2 goals in 3 minutes. An excellent finish by Neuwenhoff to make it 3. And then Adam Frizzell with his first goal of the season to perhaps give Airdrie some hope for the second half, which is about to get up and running in the company of Ian Murray, Stuart Kettlewell and Paul Mitchell.
Thank you, Richard. It's not just football that has the problem with video assistance. Just ask Gregor Townsend and the Scotland rugby team and the 8 minutes it took for them to decide that the ball didn't touch down over the line yesterday. As the ball gets played back, this is Sports Sound, BBC Radio Scotland. Airdrie 1, Hearts 3. And we're underway at the start of the second half. Hearts' first official visit to this stadium. There's been 2 meetings between Hearts and Airdrieonians since the restructure in 2002. And it is good to get Airdrieonians rather than Airdrie United 0-0 at Tynecastle or 5-0 at Tynecastle. And Airdrie winning on penalties in the League Cup tie. Hearts leading in the Scottish Cup tie by 3-1 as Ray plays the ball out wide. Opportunity for Watson to send it down the side, comes off Todorov and out of play. It goes Josh Ray in goal for the home side. Watson, McCabe, Fordyce and Hancock are the back four. Telfer, McMaster, Frizzell and Lyle, McGregor, Todorov. That is the home side. There has been a change by Hearts at half time. As I quickly spot the number 30 has come on, that's Tagawa. We'll find out who's going off in a moment as the ball gets played forward by Airdrie. Trying to find that second goal, which should get them right back into this tie. Perhaps make Hearts feel a little bit more uncomfortable.
I think it's Vargas.
Yep.
Yeah, he's just going to take up that right-hand side that Vargas played in the first half, Paul.
Perfect. Craig Gordon goal. And Makisa Halkett was off. He's been replaced by Kai Rolls. It's now Kingsley, Rolls, Cochrane, Ewanhoff, Beningame, Grant, Forrest, and now Tagawa and Shankland. The opportunity to play it wide. It's Tagawa's birthday as well today, so he'll be glad to be on the field. Indeed, better if he can find his way onto the score sheet. Starts with the ball forward. Onto Shankland, pushed away by the goalkeeper, but the flag is up down below us. The assistants are Ross McLeod and Paul McAvenue. Steve McLean is our referee. It was Paul McAvenue raised the flag just down below us here. Looks Ian Murray like it's just continued from the first half.
Yeah, Lawrence just went a fraction too early there. They won the ball back pretty high at the park. I thought you looked on. I'd be very surprised if the linesman hadn't seen it. But yeah, they're dangerous. If you keep giving Hearts the ball in these areas and lose the ball in these areas so close to your own goal, they're going to get at you. They've shown real purpose when they've won the ball and driving forward.
Ray plays the ball forward, gets it played back to him, sent it out wide, round the corner it goes, but again Hearts hassle and win the ball back. Here's Grant, 30 yards and goal, plays on the inside. Ewanhoff touches off to Beningame. He'll play it out wide. And Makisa will gather. He's got a good shot on him. The goalkeeper crosses his fist to punch the ball away. Hearts pick up again at the edge of the Airdrie box. And Ewanhoff plays it out wide. On to Cochrane. Cochrane gathers. There's Forrest. Forrest hits it against Frizzell. And the ball bounces and goes out of play. Stephen Naismith on that far side applauds the effort of his team. He scored the last time that these sides met in the 5-0 win. Previously, Hearts had all sorts of problems in the 90s against the Airdrieonians. They won back-to-back games in August and November 1991 and did not win any of the final 9 meetings between the clubs. Here, can the home side find a way to get the next goal, which would bring this tie back to a pulsating level? It's still got high interest, and Hearts have it through Kingsley. Moved across to right centre back to allow Rolls to slot into the left-hand side. Moving forward, the referee's given it for the first free kick. Stephen Kingsley was fouled for a second time, and that's the one that's kept him down. Aaron Lyle making the challenge, and it is going to be a free kick right on the halfway line. And Kingsley gets ready to take. Kingsley drops the ball down and plays the ball back onto Kai Rolls. Rolls. Well, the Hearts fans trying to engage Stuart Kettlewell in conversation. Kind of busy. I think the microphone gives it away.
It's not a good subject either. He's talking about AstroTurf. I've just had a rant at half-time, Paul. We're going to someone else, but it does look actually a very good AstroTurf. I said that to Ian, that it looks as if it plays well. The ball moves really well, and the bounce looks pretty true as well.
Look, don't get me started on AstroTurf, because I think there's absolutely nothing wrong with it. Get on with it. Play.
The ball gets played back behind the goals. There's strips, I think, of what was some of the old AstroTurf, and walking on that and walking on the actual pitch, it is night and day. And as the ball gets played out wide by Airdrie, flick down the side, can they chase it? Going across to McGregor, into the middle it goes. No runner able to get on the end of it, although Hearts have given it away at the edge of the area. It was poor play by Tagawa. And Hearts managed to get the ball away, but if they had given the ball away again, it literally is bagatelle at the moment, going from one to the other. And now McMaster brings it under control, played it forward onto Lyle, inside to Telfer. Back again, takes the touch, Telfer, and plays it back onto McCabe. McCabe out wide onto Watson. Watson on that far side. Airdrie in these white jerseys with a deep red V, the black numbers on the back which cut through the V. And Hearts in the maroon jerseys, maroon shorts for this one, and white socks. The contrast is good as Hearts gather on that far side. Grant onto Beningame, sliding down, making the challenge. Telfer trying to go in there. Too much though, and it's a free kick to Hearts, but certainly Stuart Airdrie have come out same level of intensity.
Yeah, they have, and that one there's a foul, and it just becomes their energy and their bit of aggression now. They're getting in the faces of the Hearts players, but I just like the play just before it, Paul, a minute or so ago, where they just clip it up to the platform. A Todorov that gets set back, and then McGregor gets to use his pace down the side, and they get a half-decent cross into the penalty area. And I would just like to see them maybe do that once or twice more, just to mix up their play. It's nice to watch when they're playing out from the back, but I think those opportunities are absolutely there for them.
Frizzell, the scorer of Airdrie O'Neill's first ever goal against Hearts in the new form. The ball played down the side, crossed into the middle. Craig Gordon comes out, drops down onto it, gets things moving very quickly. Mikisa drops the ball back to Newenoff. Murray alongside me. Great energy again.
Yeah, really good. They're getting down to towards that Hearts left side really well. Telfer, if he just seemed to be pulled back, there was a player standing there who could have had a chance, but just looking at McGregor again in the last 5 minutes, I tell you what a game he's having. He's playing really well. I'm really enjoying watching him. I'm really hoping he doesn't tire out though, because he's doing so much work, but he's doing his chances of enhancing his CV. Absolutely no problem at all today.
He's only 19, and surely he's got more of this to come. He'll give us 90 minutes.
They're a different breed now, Stuart.
This is his Scottish Cup debut as well. Wasn't involved in the first 2 matches. As the ball gets played forward onto George Grant. Hearts leading by 3-1. Ball lifted over the top. Tagawa chases it, but it's the man in all yellow that comes out. It's Josh Wright, formerly on the books of Hibs as a youngster. And as the ball gets played forward, they're just trying to build again. McCabe flicks the ball back to his goalkeeper. And Hancock down below us, the blue boots, sees the ball go to the other side, and it's blocked. And out of play it goes. Alan Forrest trying to run in there, make life difficult. Here comes the throw from Craig Watson, we're 16, and from Fraserburgh, and gets ready to throw the ball in. Onto the player manager, Rhys McCabe. Onto Ray, played with purpose out wide onto Hancock, drops it back onto Alan Fordyce. Fordyce inside it goes to the goalkeeper, inside his 6-yard box, launches it long, but too long. Again, trying to play it out from the back, but Hearts are putting the press on.
Yeah, again, at that point though, Hearts pressed really well, Paul. I would love to see Airdrie just drop it into Todorov. There's a huge kind of chasm in the middle of the park there where they're still standing with their 2 strikers. One's quick off the shoulder, the other one's that kind of physical presence that they can actually pitch it up and play off of. And I get that this is their belief in their principles to pass it out from the back, and I really credit them for it, but I think they're maybe just missing a trick or two once or twice just to eliminate that pressing.
Yeah, absolutely. Even to get out there, it's taken a long time to get out. The ball's going back to the goalkeeper on numerous occasions. You're right, just clip it up to Todorov. That's what he feeds off and fries off. They've done it there. And you've got McGregor with the speed and running in behind, and that's when Airdrie have looked at the most dangerous. When they've got the ball in the most forward areas really quickly.
Okay, so for Hearts, over the halfway line, Tagawa wears 30, cuts the ball back inside, back towards Kingsley. Kingsley will gather, take a touch. Should be pointed out that the Vargas goal came as a result of the Halkett pass. Again, Airdrie did the press and just beat it by going over the top. Going down there is Alan Forrest. The referee is unconcerned. He now gives the free kick for the push. Steve McLean must be on a 3-second delay at the moment, because that looked fairly clear from here.
Yeah, I think he just takes a minute or so to make the decision, but I don't really think that there's any advantage. In actual fact, Airdrie look as if they're going to break off the back of it, so a little bit of frustration, I think, from Stephen Naismith. I've seen him getting a little bit animated in the technical area there, because he wants that decision made instantly.
Yeah, I think as a winger, when your face is planted into the advertising boards, it's possibly not the best place to build a move from. But Hearts will have the opportunity to swing the ball in. Airdrie O'Neill's 1, Hearts 3. Live on BBC Radio Scotland for the right to play. Morton in the tail of the bank next month. Ball played into the middle. Good solid headed away again by Rhys McCabe. And Mikisa will gather, takes the touch and plays it all the way back to Craig Gordon, beaten once this afternoon, and took a heck of a goal to beat him as well. Great angled header by Adam Frizzell. Hancock holding off Shankland. Tagawa wasn't making the run that Shankland was expecting. Shankland now explaining that to him. And it's up to McMaster. McMaster drops the ball off onto Charlie Telfer. Telfer reads the game beautifully, launches it long for Todorov this time. Kingsley motors his way across, gets in front of him. Excellent defending goal kick.
It's just the wrong player, isn't it? It's the type of pass that I think McGregor would relish, and it's actually Todorov. Telfer gets his head up, sees the space. I actually don't think it's a bad ball. I just think that probably role reversal if McGregor's chasing after that when he gets there before Kingsley. But Kingsley does well just to alleviate the pressure.
Hearts build inside their own half, leading by 3-1. Tagawa back inside. Mbakisa, Jamaican international player, and a spell on loan with Reading. on loan here at Hearts as the ball gets played forward. Kai Rose onto Forrest. Forrest on the halfway line, trying to get away from McMaster. Head down going Alan Forrest. Distinctive running style. Beats his man. Coming into the area. Clips it across. The header. Fordyce sends it outside the box and Hearts will gather. And it's Limbikisa will gather. Where's 81? Slips it down the side. Lawrence Shankland is there. Shankland tries to get the ball over and sends the ball in dead behind. Tell you what, it's still an interesting cup tie, and if Ian Airdrie could get the next goal, this place would go wild.
Absolutely, it would, yeah, and they've got plenty of time. Obviously, the earlier the better for Airdrie, but they're well in the game still. The Hearts aren't causing them too many problems at the moment. It's a wee bit scrappy in the midfield area, but a lot of turnovers for both teams, so they'll be looking to get hold of the ball, be a bit more dominant, but yep, Airdrie well in this game still.
Just a little look through. I think the last time Hearts lost a lead in the Scottish Cup, a bad one, they lost 2 goals to Hibs back in 2016, and Hibs went on to win the trophy, so you never know. Hibs looked dead and buried that day at half-time at Tynecastle, but Paul Hanlon got the second goal. Hibs won the replay, and the rest is history. Here's Newnoff bringing the ball forward for Hearts, out wide onto Grant. Grant round the corner. Cochrane looks up, plays it inside, up to the edge of the area, onto Newnoff. Newnoff back onto Grant. Grant will play it out wide. Limbikisa will gather on that right foot of his. Hancock right in front of him. He's nutmegged him. Plays the ball through onto Shankland. Shankland tries to back heel onto Forrest. Up and over it goes. What a goal that would have been. Tremendous little nutmeg, then a back heel. Hearts showing great skills.
I spoke about this before the game, and it's his all-round play. Lawrence Shankland, he gets his back into Fordyce, I think it is. There's no way you're shifting him, Paul, and he's so intelligent, especially when you've got that movement of Forrest round about him, that fleet of foot, just to make the run across the face, and it's just with the sole of his boot he rolls it in his path. And I actually thought there was a deflection. I see one or two of the Hearts players claiming that on his effort it's deflected behind for a corner, but Steve McLean indicates that it's a goal kick and they're back playing.
And the ball is back from Hancock onto his goalkeeper, Josh Ray, 23-year-old. Flicks the ball down onto Rhys McCabe. McCabe round the corner onto Craig Watson. Watson up and the halfway line, plays it through, but it's going to be intercepted by Kai Rose into Grant. Grant flicks it in to Beningame. Beningame plays the ball back to Kingsley. Kingsley and Vikisa coming up over the halfway line. He'll play it out wide onto Tagawa. Tagawa takes the touch, sends it to Limbikisa. It's a poor ball, and that should be shepherded out of play, and it is. Josh Ray decides to pick up another ball that's behind the goal, and well, the more that Hearts do that, Ian, just the little bits of rumblings go in, and Airdrie see hope.
Yeah, absolutely. Hearts, there was a really good play actually before that with the Forrest chance. Again, I was just thinking 5 minutes ago that Shankly's been fairly quiet in the game today, but he has shown just moments of real quality, and that was one of them. The awareness he had around him, and the minute he backs into you as a centre half, then you're kind of in trouble. But yeah, Hearts need to tidy up a wee bit. Obviously the subs came on and a really poor ball, and as longer it goes, Airdrie, as I said just 5 minutes ago, they're well in the game. 5 minutes ago, they're well in the game now. It all rests if there's going to be a next goal and if Airdrie get it.
Lawrence Shankland, 23 goals for the season now. He'll be aiming for 30 as Airdrie bring the ball forward wide on that far side, clipped inside. Newhoff will gather easily though. Back onto Grant just outside the box on the left hand side, being closed down by Torderov. And easily stepped it inside. Kai Rose will lift it onto Dexter. Limbikisa sends it down, looking for Tagawa. Tagawa chasing there. Fordyce comes across, takes the touch and tried to stop it from being a corner, and he did so only just. And it's going to be a throw into Hearts. One of these ones that looked like he just left it too late, but just played it in time. Hearts have taken the throw, nowhere near it should have been, but Limbikisa will gather, drops a and gathers, plays the ball back onto Kingsley. Kingsley across to Kai Rose inside his own half. Limbikisa will gather once more. You can see the sweat glistening off the foreheads of the players as the ball gets played out wide on that far side. And it's chilly here, but tell you what, they're working up a real sweat, real appetite for this game. Hearts work the 1-2 at the edge of the area. Breaks back to Newhoff as the ball broke Hearts' way after the move broke down. Here's Alan Forrest up at the apex of the area, tries the shot straight at the goalkeeper, knocked the ball down, and Josh Ray is there. It remains Airdrie 1, Hearts 3. Here's Stuart Kettlewell.
Yeah, good play again from Hearts, but I think it's what Airdrie are giving them. It goes full back to full back, but it goes on the ground. It's past.
Richard's good at filling
Well, as you can hear from Paul there, Richard's good at filling in. So clearly there's been an issue with the line. They have obviously assumed that the line has dropped, that we weren't hearing them. So they stopped talking. Well, they stopped talking to the nation. They just started talking to each other. And Paul, I'm delighted to hear that Paul has such faith and confidence in my ability to keep talking while everyone else around me has fallen over and is no longer being heard. Look, we'll get that sorted out. It is... still 3-1 to Hearts following that. It was a pretty remarkable turnaround in the game. They got the early goal, of course, through Lawrence Shankland. But Airdrie then created big opportunities. Vargas and Unhoff made it 3-0. Frizzell got the goal back. And, well, Hearts have certainly had at least the one good opportunity in the second half. But Airdrie still very much in it, 3-1 down, as we hand back to our commentator, Paul Mitchell.
Gathers, challenge from behind, and Tagawa won the ball. Well, they're so often penalised. Here comes Forrest moving it forward, plays it slightly behind Grant. Grant tries the shot, swoosh of fresh air. I think he got caught as he got the ball away. Well, he's not getting much sympathy from Craig Watson. Grant gets himself back up. He's speaking to Rhys McCabe. What did you make of that, Ian?
I don't think it's a free kick. I think obviously he's looking for it. Fresh air kick is never a great thing for a...
I was hoping there was contact, surely, and they missed the ball completely.
Stuart, it can happen to the best of us.
Yep, I think we've all experienced that at some level or other. And the best thing to do is obviously bounce back up, claim the free kick,
of course,
fool your teammates, and then emphasise it later on. Airdrie 1, Hearts 3. Hearts just holding on here. Not rushing forward, they're just going to allow Airdrie to play it out. Telfer plays it down the side, picked up by Rose, through onto Shankland. Tagawa was offside, Shankland's going himself, tried to play it through to Forrest, and Charlie Telfer rescued the situation, plays it out wide onto Mason Hancock, who looks up, clips the ball on the inside. It's a great pass onto Todorov. Todorov trying to push it out wide onto Watson, who's over the halfway line. McGregor making his way into the area, drops the ball back. Here's Telford again, ball on the left foot. It's a great little reverse ball in. Here's the chance, good block by Kai Rose. Second chance to get the ball across. Almost grazes the crossbar as it's played over. Plenty of danger being created here from the home side, and they're going to pick up again. McMaster onto Frizzell. Frizzell trying to drag the ball clear. He's done so. Plays it out wide onto the left-hand side. I thought Lyle had his arm pulled there. Referee allows play to continue. It is back again with Aaron Lyle, moving back towards the halfway line. Picking up is Charlie Telfer. Telfer turns the ball back inside to the player manager, Rhys McCabe. McCabe now drops it inside onto Callum Fordyce. Fordyce sends it forward onto Frizzell. Frizzell is the captain despite having the manager in the team, and the manager has the ball, plays it across. Again, there's no great hurry, and this is great from Airdrie. They're not trying to rush it, they'd rather hold on and play the way that both Ian Murray and Stuart Kettlewell have been describing, as they pick up once more, dig the ball out wide. It's good play from Lyle. Opportunity, can Watson get the ball into the box? Sends it across, Todorov brings it down, just had the ball touched away from him, and Grant is in there. And the silence of the Hearts fans tells you a lot at the moment. They're under pressure here as Forrest tried to keep the ball in, did so initially, and then the ball was touched out of play. Hearts are going to go to the bench, Stuart. I think they've just seen they need to make things happen here, and they're going to call on Macaulay Tate for Benny Beningame.
Yeah, you can just see, Paul, that Airdrie are growing in confidence. That was really patient play. I don't know how many passes he strung together. They come through the left side, through the middle of the park, and straight out to the right hand side, and it's actually a good delivery that comes into the box from Watson in the right back position. I just think that Todorov's got to be a lot cleaner with his work inside the penalty area. It's clipped in round about his waist height. He's just looking for him to cushion the ball and maybe do what Shankland done moments ago where he brings Forrest into the game, but his touch just bounces away from him and hands possession back to Hearts. But a lot to go on here from Airdrie's point of view, but at some point, Ian, I'm not sure what time that comes, there is going to have to be a real level of urgency to go and try and get that next goal, because the next goal could really change this cup tie.
Absolutely. If Airdrie can get a goal, go to 3-2, then it's very much game on. It's probably the best passage of play Airdrie have had in the last 5 or 6 minutes in terms of passing the ball, finding a little bit more space when they are passing it. It's just that last wee bit, like you said, Stuart. Todorov's got to do better in those situations. If he was more alert, he could have maybe laid it off to the edge of the box, get a shot off. He's been in his heels a couple of times, so it just needs a wee bit more. But yep, Airdrie are passing the ball really, really well. They're getting down the sides and showing really good quality now.
Airdrie on the best run of the season, unbeaten in the last 7 games. Hearts have won their last 6, won 9 of the last 10. So it's 2 teams in form, and they're entertaining us here on a Sunday afternoon, early evening on BBC Radio Scotland. Namikisa plays the ball into the air, looking for Shanklin. Shanklin can't get there, the ball runs, and it goes out of play. Hearts have taken off George Grant. They've brought on Scott Fraser, who had a little spell here at Airdrie. He played in the Scottish Cup tie against Morton, 0-0, and then lost the replay. But he is on the field, and Airdrie are going to make a change on that far side. It's Todorov that is going off. There is no board being held up, so we will see. Callum Gallagher would have been my bet, and Callum Gallagher with the bright yellow boots, for which I'm grateful, comes on, because his number 9 on the back will look like a number 8. So but we'll be able to pick him out. We'll see what presence he can bring. He got the Scottish Cup goal against Stranraer to set up the tie against St Johnstone. As Ray plays the ball along the deck, it was a risky one, but it was well picked up by Lyle. Airdrie play the ball back to McCabe. They're quite happy to go back to the goalkeeper and rebuild. McMaster drops short, and the ball played forward onto Ray. Ray will now clip it out onto Hancock. Well, all he did was knock the ball out of play from the header. Not sure if he was trying to play it slightly further forward to Frizzell. I like Dean McMaster. He comes and gathers the ball. He's always looking for it.
Yeah, he does. He'll take the ball under pressure. Obviously, I'm sitting here watching this as a neutral, frustrated with that one from Airdrie, because they've got to go forward. The goalkeeper's putting his full-backs with the longer diagonals under a huge amount of pressure. Just to touch on the substitution with Callum Gallagher coming on, which I think is going to help them. You've got to keep your eye on Gal. He's definitely going to run channels, that's for sure. When it comes into the box, be on him, because he can score.
The ball gets played out. I'm not going to question the former Hibs man's neutrality against Hearts here, former Airdrie manager as well. Far be it from me as the ball comes out wide. Up to Libakisa. Libakisa's gone past his man, trying to get the ball. He cuts back again, moves to the byline, and just overruns it and drops it in behind. It's a good cup tie, Stuart.
It's a really good cup tie, but you can hear just a little bit of frustration from the Hearts fans just in front of us. Limbakisa does so well down the right-hand side, manages to wriggle free, give himself a yard or two. He's got Shankland and 1 or 2 others inside the penalty area and refuses a cross, and ultimately gives possession back to Airdrie. And that just, those little moments, Paul, just let Airdrie grow in this contest. I just think that with that kind of ruthless nature of put the cross into the box, he's shown good quality all day. He creates a chance for his team, and these are the wee moments that can sort of change these types of cup ties.
There's the opportunity for Hearts to build. Talk about players who serve both Hearts and Airdrie. Jimmy Sanderson, former skipper for both, sitting just down to our left-hand side. And as the ball gets played forward, one of the good guys. Here's Tagawa down this left-hand side, attacking up the edge of the box. It's the Airdrie left, the Hearts right. Opens up, tries to shoot, dragged the ball, plays it off. And here's the opportunity for Fraser. Fraser gets it on to Forrest. Forrest just going to be eased away there, tries to dive down and gather. It is going to be a goal kick. Well, Hearts scored 3 times. They scored after 11 minutes, 80 minutes and 21 minutes. Airdrie pulled a goal back after 34. We've now got 70 minutes on the clock.
Yeah, I think apart from that incredible 10-minute spell from Hearts, there's not been a lot in the game. I do think they've had the better chances going forward, but Airdrie, have held their own. They've managed to regroup since that, poor 10 minutes and stuck to their principles. Yep, we're all wanting to get forward, the ball forward that little bit quicker in terms of trying to attack Hearts, but I'm sure at some point they're going to have to do that. It's going to have to be soon, because they need a goal.
80th game in charge for Rhys McCabe. He's urging his men on. He's won 40 of the previous 79. This is going to be a tall order as Hearts looking for a 4th goal. It would put the tie beyond the home side, and Hearts would prepare to travel to Greenock Morton. Tate plays it forward to Newnhoff. Newnhoff up at the edge of the box. Tagawa back onto Limbakisa. There's a little touch and turn, just Neuenhoff doing really well to get away from Hancock. That looked late. That looked late. Cochrane steps forward, gets the shot away. Well, Frizzell is having a little word with referee Stephen McLean. I think that was just behind him. I'm not sure he saw that. It's Charlie Telfer that is the man that's down, and Telfer now having a little verbal volley at the referee, and I think Craig Watson's come in to point that out as well.
Yeah, I think there's something in that, Paul, to be honest with you. Neuenhoff just overruns the ball a little, and just as it's out there in front of him, I think he does make contact with the ball, but it's that follow through again. I'm not suggesting it's a red card, but I think it's probably a foul to Airdrie, and you can see why there's a bit of discontent from the Airdrie players. I just look at somebody like Charlie Telfer with his experience, and he's been about the game. I don't think he's got a tendency to go down unless there's been something there, so it's not what we would call a flashpoint, but it certainly looked as if he was a little bit late with the challenge.
Ian, your thoughts on that?
Yeah, I've just had a wee sneaky look at the monitor beside me, so I've got a wee bit of a different opinion when I've seen it, but I'm looking at it from an odd angle from where I was on the pitch. Yeah, I thought the same as Stuart when I seen it on television. I think Charlie's maybe ran into the Hearts player a little bit, but yeah, look, Stephen McLean never saw it. You know, the other players obviously weren't happy, but got on with it.
Yep, no VR, no choice, just got to get on with it. That's been a really good attitude, unusually for a cup tie. No yellow cards, just been played in a really good spirit.
Airdrie Hearts, that's never happened before, is it? No yellows.
No, I can't see it. I mean, at the moment, Jimmy Sanderson's lucky he's not been booked, sitting down beside us. And as the ball gets played back onto Craig Gordon. Sides last shared the league back in 92-93. As Hearts smuggled the ball out as very quickly Gallagher was trying to apply some pressure along with Lewis McGregor. Hearts have it. Macaulay Tate picks up, lays the ball back onto Kingsley. Kingsley out wide on that far side, rolls round the corner. Here's the opportunity to move things forward. And Hearts gather Cochrane round the corner. Here's Fraser. Fraser plays it through. The flag has stayed down. Shanklin! Beautiful chip! The goalkeeper advanced. And Hearts' goal scoring hero is again Lawrence Shanklin. And that will be the goal that will see Hearts through to the last 8 of the Scottish Cup, where they will face Greenock Morton. Lawrence Shanklin makes it 4-1 to Hearts.
Yeah, it's a really good goal from Hearts' point of view, and the changes have made a little bit of difference to them. Scott Fraser receives it just in that kind of number 10 position on the half turn, and it's actually Rhys McCabe's claiming for offside. But I definitely think that Lawrence Shanklin's timed his run to absolute perfection there. The manager's just in that deeper position. It just allows him the freedom of the pitch, and we know when he gets in that position that he's always going to finish, but it's so intelligent, so clever, so composed with a little dink over the on-rushing goalkeeper.
Yeah, wonderful finish from Shanklin again. You know, that's what he can do again, a completely different type of goal from his opening goal. It goes back to what Stuart said at the start of the game, how much he's added to his all-round game and his game knowledge. I don't think he was offside either. Again, we'll have to see it back, but I think the most important thing there is what a wonderful finish.
Yeah, just dinked it. It was the first thing that came into his head, and he executed well. Hearts have made a change. Namakisa is off. Nathaniel Atkinson is on, and Hearts now leading by 4-1. Well, when you're 3-0 down after 21 minutes, it could have been a heck of a lot worse. And again, the scoreline doesn't give you the whole story of this game. No, it's been a fantastic cup tie, but I really do think that puts it to bed, Paul. It's been a really valiant effort from Airdrie, but I think that they've just lacked that little bit of a killer instinct. There's the opportunity at the edge of the area. Lyle lays it off. The shot from Frizzell got the ball away well, but zipped it past the post of Craig Gordon, who didn't need to dive, didn't look too unconcerned. And the home side will certainly not be giving anything up here, but it's a tall order. And Hearts suspect that they are going to find themselves in Morton. And Dougie Imrie is here. He's been watching on. As the ball gets flicked up high, and it's pinged by Hearts. Took 5 off of Airdrie when they last met. They took 5 off of Auchinleck Talbot. Took 4 off of St Mirren back in March of 2022. That's the recent biggest scores in the Scottish Cup. As Airdrie just try and play themselves out of this and try and find a way to get forward and test Craig Gordon again. Gallagher wins the header, drops out wide on that far side. Forrest inside, Shanklin comes Shanklin chasing the Scottish Cup hat-trick, a couple of hat-tricks in his time as a Hearts player. Looking for yet another as the ball comes across for Airdrie, hooked up high by Frizzell. Rolls, brings it under control. Tate opens it up. That is going to be the opportunity for Hearts to bring it forward over the halfway line. Tate onto Taggart, he was offside. And Rhys McCabe. Watson applaud the decision at the referee. Let's just have a little word with Tate. There's another change coming. And off will go Aaron Lyle, and one will come Chris Donald. Chris Donald, the man from Glasgow, is on. There's a spell in Australia with Perth Glory. He's on loan from Fulham. That is the change made. Charlie Telfer also withdrawn. And Gavin Gallagher, another Glaswegian, introduced into the action. So a chance just for some game time for these players. It's a debut for Chris Donald. Gavin Gallagher, 7th appearance of the season. Atkinson on to Taggart. Went down under the challenge of Hancock. Too much in it, but Hearts will get the free kick. What would you be looking for your players in these last 10 minutes or so, Ian, if you were still in charge here?
Yeah, I was just having a wee think about it after that fourth goal. They've went a little bit ragged. Obviously the belief has kind of went out of it for them now. I just hope they can get it back and they keep going, because we know that the scoreline 4-1. Hearts deserve to win the game. I think we have to acknowledge that as well, but certainly Airdrie have not disgraced themselves in any way whatsoever. They've competed really, really well. It caused Hearts a couple of problems. On another day, who knows, it could have been slightly different. But I just hope they keep going right to the final, which I'm sure they will. Look, they've got good players, good management. The fans will expect that. It's the least they deserve.
Stuart's just refreshing to see a side playing in a cup tie that doesn't want to put 10 men behind the ball against higher league opposition and want to just have a real good goal.
Yeah, there's absolutely no fear, Paul, from Airdrie. You could see from the first whistle that there's no fear of losing this game of football. What they wanted to do was come out and give a good account of themselves, and I think in large parts they've done that. The bit that I start to lean towards is there's some young players have been on the pitch, one or two now come off, and a few changes made. I'm just looking through the team sheet, one or two 19-year-olds, 20-year-olds. This is terrific experience for them, playing against a Premier League outfit in Hearts, playing in front of this crowd and playing at this stage of the Scottish Cup is only going to serve them well moving forward. So that's something I always look for, and I think that some of these guys will be better for the experience. I genuinely do.
Hearts trying to play the ball forward. It's going to be knocked out of play by Callum Fordyce. He's having a little yell at his goalkeeper who started the move that didn't quite go right earlier on today. Sabina 0, Celtic 2, Kyogo and Maida. Some game between Dundee and St Johnstone. 2-1 at finish for Dundee, but plenty of talking points. And if you didn't hear the interviews from the managers at half-time on our show in this game, then they're well worth a listen to on the BBC website. Master tried to hold off Shanklin, and he just had his ankle taken. That's a free kick. Lawrence Shanklin just offers him the hand, gets back up. I mean, even that, you're talking there, you're going up against a striker, with over 20 goals this season. McMaster's trying to get close to him, learning how the striker plays and what you've got to do to combat that.
Yeah, do you know what, Paul? The young lad's shown incredible bravery throughout the game. He's went everywhere, off his centre-backs, off his full-back, off his goalkeeper, looking for the ball. And as I say, just even those wee moments when he's got to try and hold off somebody like Lawrence Shanklin, he's got to play against him. I'll reiterate it, he's going to be much, much better for this 90-odd minutes that he's going to play here today.
Yeah, I was speaking to Rhys last week. Obviously we played him, he really likes him, really, really rates him as well. He's kind of alluded to me that he really expects him to do really well in the game, and he's probably bracing himself to lose him at some point, and he'll just be trying to nurture him and give him more experience in games like today and days like today, and it can only benefit him.
Hearts moving forward again. Lawrence Shanklin on a hat-trick, plays the ball through, trying to pick out Tagaway, probably better options out on that left-hand side. The ball comes back to Hancock, and they come again to Airdrie, clipped out wide by Chris Donald, 19-year-old Aussie midfielder. Let's pull back once more to Gallagher. Gallagher, lovely little ball inside. Back on to Chris Donald. Donald plays it wide. Frizzell lifts it up at the back post. The header. Gallagher made the run and sends it up and over the top. A good effort He was involved near the centre circle at the start of the move, burst his way into the area, just couldn't get the header on target. Remains Airdrie 1, Hearts 4.
Yeah, another sweeping move yet again, Paul, from Airdrie over on the left-hand side. Frizzell on his left foot, and he stands up, maybe just a little bit too much height on it. I know somebody in Gallagher that Ian will know really, really well. You expect him possibly just to get that on target, but I think he's reaching for it just ever so slightly and can't direct it back down towards the goal. But it shows you that their spirit's still there. They're still playing. They're still searching for a goal. Yeah, these are the ones that you kind of expect Gal to score. He kind of gets the ones that you don't sometimes expect him to get to, and misses ones that he should. But I actually thought Adam might have had a wee drive there at the Hearts defender. Maybe it's the energy levels, the belief, it's just gone out the team a little bit, but it was a decent ball in.
Gallagher picks up again, driving his way forward, beats two Hearts players, sends it out wide, trying to chase out there. There's Gavin Gallagher. We've got two Gallaghers on the field, which helps. Callum Gallagher and Gavin Gallagher, no relation. As the ball comes out, and it will be a throw. Mason Hancock has a number 5 on the back of his jersey. Could really be any number from here. As Hancock picks up again, swings the ball into the middle. Cochrane decides to leave it as it runs out of play. Looking ahead for Airdrieonians down to Ayr next weekend. In fact, they'll host here, then they go back-to-back away games. Morton and Dundee United. Tasty times.
Yeah, fantastic times as well. I think, in League One for a number of years, so to finally get up, the Reese and the football club deserve a lot of credit. They're working really hard to get here, or in the Championship, and they're holding their own. And we know it's tough, but they've done really, really well, and I'm hoping they can do us a wee favour at Tannadice.
The voice of the Red Rovers manager here, buddy. No point in hiding it. I can fully understand that. Here comes Shanklin for Hearts, leading by 4 goals to 1. The Scottish Championship, such a terrific league to watch. Games live and telly on a Friday night. Great coverage on Radio Scotland. As Tate almost gives the ball away. And all the way back onto Craig Gordon. Gordon gathers, plays it forward. Tate is there, so a little slip by Frizzell. And Frizzell does look shattered at the moment. He's still going. He's still nibbling away, trying to get after Scott Fraser. Tall, lanky midfield player. Fraser gathers again and touches the ball back. Scott Fraser, one of these rare players who plays in the FA Cup and the Scottish Cup in the same season, as he flicks the ball out wide on that far side. Played for Charlton against Craw Valley. What a tale they were in the English FA Cup. One apiece, and then a 6-1 win for Charlton. Hearts have the ball up beside the edge of the area. Atkinson plays it into Shanklin. Good challenge though, and played away again by McMaster. McMaster pushes it up forward onto Chris Donald. Donald sends it on to Frizzell. Frizzell gets the touch, plays it on the inside. Hearts leading by 4 goals to 1. 2 from Shanklin, 1 from Vargas, 1 from Newnhoff. As the ball gets played forward. A little touch on there by Kingsley. Kingsley out wide to Cochrane, up on the halfway line. Alan Forrest is there. He's challenged and the ball goes out of play. Stephen Naismith returns the ball in. From a Hearts perspective, well, I think Stuart knows who they're playing next. That's against Motherwell. And then Rangers back-to-back home games, Hibs and Celtic. It's a rough run.
Yeah, it's a tough string of games. I believe we've got a very similar type of run coming up ourselves. We've obviously a game to play during the week, Paul, before we get to the game at Tynecastle at the weekend. But no, again, I was asked to cover the game today, which was good, but I would have been here anyway just to watch Hearts. But I think you can see that they're functioning really, really well. They're on this terrific run just now. They're goal scorers in top form, so we know come next Saturday it's going to be a real difficult game for us to go into.
Hearts holding on to the ball. It's the chances, they keep it on their arm. I mean, how quick is your turnaround to prepare? I mean, you don't really get a lot of time at this time of year.
No, it's out of the pot and into the fire, so to speak, with the transfer window, and then we come into a string of midweek games as well. 3 games in 6 days, I think it was for us. Kilmarnock, Ross County, and then into the game on Friday. So yeah, it's a tough period for you, but I think Ian will back me up on this one, especially when you're a player. You just want to keep going game to game. Sometimes you limit the training sessions, and you get your real focus on just recovering and preparing for games. So if you can get a good run of form, disappointment for us on Friday, of course, but prior to that we've found ourselves in some good form. So look forward to the next couple of games, but a few away from home, and that will bring its own challenges.
Hearts pick up on that far side, missing any action. Hearts were just holding on to it and pulling the ball away. Man United have beaten Aston Villa by 2-1 this afternoon. As Airdrie try and push forward once more. Craig Watson is off. Cameron Ballantyne is on as Hearts move the ball forward. Good run by Tate. Tate's played it out wide. He wants it back. Shanklin plays it back into Tate. Goalkeeper comes into the 6-yard box, sliding across the turf. Gathers the ball. Good movement. That time from Macaulay Tate. Good goalkeeping too from Josh Ray.
Yeah, he read the situation really well. He's just starting position 6 yards off his goal line and just manages to intercept it. But again, clever play from Shanklin. Always trying to probe, always trying to see if he can, if he's not looking to score, he's looking to bring his teammates into the game. So Hearts still showing an appetite for a 5th goal here, and I think that would be incredibly harsh, if I'm honest, on Airdrie for what they've given at the cup time.
Rangers against Ross County, Aberdeen against Motherwell, covered for you during the week here on BBC Radio Scotland Sports Sound and also on Sports Scene. The ball gets played out wide. Stuart Kettlewell's been confused for Craig Levein. We're talking about Sacked in the Morning, that well-known BBC podcast. You've been confused for Craig Levein before?
I've not, but again I'm baffled why Ian Murray with his career at the other side of Edinburgh isn't getting any stick. Now seem to be getting it all, Paul.
I think we've
tell you something about me.
Funny guys, these Hearts fans, eh? Ugly as well.
Now the ball gets played forward. You do the love the Cross City rivalry. Here's Alan Forrest moving forward for Hearts. Gets the ball away! I think keeper might have got a touch on that. He did so, diving down to his left-hand side to turn the ball behind. Hearts continue. Josh Ray with a good save.
Yeah, really good save. Like Stuart said just a minute ago, be very incredibly harsh on Airdrie if they concede another goal, but Hearts are looking dangerous. They're looking very, very hungry. I think the substitutes sort of came on, have really given them that burst of energy, so Airdrie need to stand firm till the end of the game and try not concede anymore.
Hearts take the corner short, into the box it goes, on to Forrest, Forrest back, on to Fraser, Fraser onto the left foot, lifts the ball in, good solid headed away by Callum Fordyce. Did really well, 31-year-old headed it clear, and Hearts will pick up again. 2.5 minutes to play, and it'll be pushed forward on by Fraser. Fraser round the corner, on to Shanklin, Shanklin to Forrest, Forrest inside onto Fraser, might think about the shot, he did so, curled it up and over, slightly sweeping to the left hand side, but I think if you're an Airdrie player now, you just want that whistle.
Yeah, I think they will be. They look a little bit tired. They've put a lot into this game, and the last thing you want to see is that triangle of Forrest, Fraser and Shanklin combining just to set up Scott Fraser on his left foot. Now he puts it over the bar, but you can see what threat he is when he finds himself in between that midfield and defence and getting a sighter on goal. But no, you can see that the energy levels Ian have went right down now. From the Airdrie players.
Yeah, I think it was going to happen, and look at the calibre of player Hearts are bringing on. We highlighted Fraser there, a really, really good player. I think a player that Hearts were maybe crying out for in that area of the park, and you see his quality.
Somebody I thought I had a chance of getting in the window, funnily enough, and spoke
yeah, I read that. It would be a great signing.
Yeah, a little bit disappointed, but you can see his quality. You can see why we were obviously trying to see if we could come up with some sort of coup there by bringing Scott into the club.
Yeah, you can see, I mean, Hearts have been missing that type of player, with Liam Boyce being injured for so much of the season, to have somebody just to play in and around Lawrence Shanklin. So yeah, you can understand why they wanted him as well.
It's interesting because you look at his recent time at Charlton, and he was playing as a deep line midfield player, but you look at all his quality in the front foot and look at his career, the goals and assists that he's got, and I think you can see Stephen Naismith's identified that, and he wants him playing in and around Shanklin. I was at the game on Wednesday against St Johnstone, and it wasn't one of his better games, but he plays in that position where he can always link with a striker.
Hearts leading here by 4-1. Time running out. We're inside the final 30 seconds here on BBC Radio Scotland. Some of the Airdrie fans have headed for the exits. Not too many of the Hearts fans have drifted away just yet. They will stay and salute their side. Shanklin. It's going to be some burst that Hearts are on though. Unbeaten in 11. The ball gets played forward. There's a little touch by Newn, off goes to ground. The referee will give the free kick. You're talking about Lawrence Shanklin, he's now scored a 10 of his last 11 games. It's 13 goals. I mean, Hearts without him are a different side.
Yeah, definitely. I think a player of his quality and the amount of goals that he scores, and any team that didn't have him, you know, wishes they did, and if Hearts lose him for whatever reason, injury or suspension, then they will feel the pinch on that. There's no doubt about it. I mean, it's pretty normal, but his goal return's been excellent, but his all-round game as well, as we touched on before this game, it's just a really good rounded striker.
You notice that when he's playing as a number 6 just a minute ago and spraying passes all around the pitch. I think it's 24 goals, Paul, for the season, is it something around that in all competitions, and he's playing as that deep line midfield player there, spraying passes about. He's just brimming with confidence, and he's a joy to watch.
He's always had a good goal scoring record, apart from Aberdeen. 63 with Ayr, 74, 40 and 74 with Dundee United. Couldn't find the back of the net with Aberdeen in 17 games, some of the back majority off the bench, to be fair to him. But he has blossomed into a fine striker. And the Scottish international has 3 goals in his 7 caps. Hearts have won a free kick, dying seconds of this one. And the opportunity to play it forward. Hearts on 4 goals. They scored more than 2 goals just 3 times this season. Once each in the League Cup, once in Europe and once in the Scottish Premiership. So they haven't been noted for, you know, taking the chances that have been coming their way, but this will please Stephen Naismith today that they've done so.
Yeah, I think they've built a really solid defensive unit. You look at the league, in the Premier League, and I think Hearts have got the best defensive record out with the Old Firm, and that's what they've maybe emphasised when Stevens first came into the job. Be sound at the back, and then we'll build going forward. They certainly look like now that they're starting to click in those forward areas, are making really good forward runs. They've got loads of options as well, so they're looking to improve on that in the second half of the season.
Scottish Cup draw made earlier today. Hibs, Rangers, Aberdeen, Killie, Celtic, Livingston and Morton will play. Adam and Lothian as the full-time whistle goes here in Airdrie. It was some contest, 5 goals. Lawrence Shanklin with a double for Hearts. He started the scoring after 11 minutes. Kenneth Vargas after 18. Gil Nieuwenhof after 21. Looked devastating for Airdrieonians, but they pulled a goal back to Adam Frizzell. Brilliant diving header. The only goal of the second half came from Lawrence Shanklin. A delightful little dip after 72 minutes set through by Scott Fraser. It's Hearts who progress. It's finished here in Airdrie. Airdrieonians 1, Adam and Lothian 4.
The Scottish Cup.